The wedding day starts early. I stand in a quiet room, inside the hall. My dress feels heavy. My hands are cold. I keep looking at the door. I know Roy is somewhere, in this building. We will stand together soon. We will sign the papers. We will look like a real couple. But, we are not a real couple. I take a slow breath. I try to stay calm. My parents told me again, this morning that, this marriage will protect my family. They tried to smile. They tried to look proud. But, I saw the fear, in their eyes. The debt was too big. The calls came too often. The messages were sharp and cold. My father could not sleep. My mother cried at night, when she thought I was not listening. I agreed to the marriage, because I wanted to stop all of that. Roy's family has power. They have money. They can end the debt, in one move. I did not choose Roy. He did not choose me. We signed a contract, a week ago. I read every line. It said, we must appear united. We must attend family events. We must protect the image of both families. It also said, there will be no expectations beyond that. No romance. No plans, as a real husband and wife. Just duty. People start to fill the hall. Music begins. My name is called. I walk down the aisle. Roy waits at the end. He looks calm. He always looks calm. His eyes meet mine for a moment. There is no anger. There is no warmth. Just a steady look. The ceremony moves fast. We say the simple vows. We sign the papers. Our families clap. His hand touches mine, when we walk out. It is light. It is only for the guests. After the photos and short greetings, the event ends. My parents hug me. My mother holds my face, and tells me I did well. My father says, it is over now. I feel tired, but I nod. When we step outside, Roy walks ahead of me. A black car waits for him. His driver opens the door. Roy says, he has to go to his office. He tells me, another car will take me home. He does not explain anything else. He gets in his car, and leaves without looking back. A second car arrives for me. The driver says, he will take me to the house. I sit alone, in the back seat. The wedding ring feels strange, on my finger. The day is quiet, but I feel a deep distance. The contract is real. This marriage is real on paper, but empty in feeling. The house is large, when I arrive. A woman who works there, shows me my room. She speaks politely. She tells me, where things are. Then she leaves. The room is clean. It looks ready for me. But it feels cold. I unpack slowly. I place my clothes in the closet. I sit on the bed and wait. But Roy does not come home that night. Or the next night. Or the next. 3 days pass. I do not know his schedule. I do not know if he avoids me. I hear people walking in the hall sometimes. But not him. The silence makes everything heavier. On the 4th evening, the housekeeper knocks and says dinner is ready. When I walk downstairs, Roy is already at the table. This is the first time I see him after the wedding. He looks tired. He says, "We need to review the contract again." He speaks in a steady, direct way. He reminds me of the public events we must attend. He says, we must show respect in front of others. We must stand close when cameras are there. We must avoid private questions. No sudden problems. No surprises. He says, the contract lasts 2 years. I listen, because I must. I wanted clarity. Now I have it. This marriage is only work. After dinner, he goes to his study. I return to my room. My body feels heavy. The distance between us is still wide. But, at least now, I know the shape of it. Several weeks pass like this. We do not spend private time together. We do not talk unless we must. But we appear together in public events. We stand close. We smile for photos. People say, we look good together. People say, we look peaceful. They do not know the truth. Behind the doors, we live like strangers. Still, the routine becomes steady. I learn how to walk beside him without touching his hand. I learn how to smile when reporters ask about our future. He answers most questions. I follow his lead. He keeps everything smooth. He keeps everything controlled. And, every time we return home, we go our separate ways. This is the start of my married life. Quiet distance. Calm routine. A life built on a contract. A life that looks complete from the outside. But I feel something under the surface. Something small, but steady. Something that will break this routine soon. Life in the house becomes difficult after the first week. The staff act polite only when Roy is near. When I am alone, they ignore me. They stop telling me the plans for the day. They change flowers and decorations without asking me. One day, a big painting in the living room is replaced, and no one tells me about it. I see the change the next morning, after it is already done. I try not to react. I remind myself that I am a contract wife. I tell myself that I should not expect respect. But it still feels bad. Roy's family treat me in the same way. They invite me to family events, but they do not talk to me. They speak to each other, and pretend they do not see me. Some of them say, I am not a good match for Roy. They say it in soft voices, but I hear every word. They talk about other women, who are more suitable. I sit there, and stay quiet. In that moment, I understand something new. My marriage helped my family. But Roy could have chosen someone else. He had many options. So, why did he choose me? The question stays in my mind. One evening, I hear Roy's family talking in another room. I hear my name, so I stop walking. They say, I am too simple. They say, I do not fit into their world. They say, Roy made a strange choice. Then Roy speaks. His voice is firm. He tells them to stop. He says, I am his wife. He says, they must treat me with respect. The room becomes quiet. I stand in the hall, and feel confused. I did not expect him to defend me. Not like that. A few days later, we go to a public event together. People ask how we met. They ask, who fell in love first. They ask about the proposal. I wait for Roy to give a simple answer. But he does not. He says, he saw me years ago at a meeting between our families. He says, I was calm and strong. He says, he liked that. He says, he was the one who asked me to marry him. I listen and cannot tell what is true. His face does not show much. His voice is steady. I do not know if he is honest or just polite. People smile and say, we look good together. I smile too, but I feel unsure. Later that week, another problem happens. The staff plan a big dinner. They choose the full menu, without asking me. They talk to each other, and act like I am not in the room. Then Roy walks in. He sees the scene. The room goes quiet. He calls the head butler. His voice is low but strong. He tells him that the staff must respect me. He says, people who ignore his wife cannot stay in this house. I watch them in silence. I do not understand why he protects me like this. This is only a contract marriage. He does not need to care so much. But he does. And I keep thinking about that. A few weeks pass, and life becomes a mix of calm moments and quiet pressure. Roy and I appear together at many events. We smile for photos. We answer simple questions. People say we look natural, but inside, I still feel unsure. One night, we attend a formal dinner. Roy is called to speak with some guests, so I stand alone near the table. Two women walk toward me. They smile, but their voices are sharp. They say, I look nervous. They say, I do not seem ready for this world. They ask, why Roy chose someone like me. Their questions are direct, and the tone is not kind. I try to stay calm, but my hands shake. I look around for a quiet place to step away. Then, I see Roy walking toward us. His face is still, but his eyes look cold. He stands beside me. He tells the two women that their questions are rude. He says they should speak with respect if they want to stay at the dinner. The women leave without another word. I breathe slowly. My heart feels unsteady. I do not understand why Roy reacts like this. This is supposed to be a simple contract. Later that week, another thing happens. Roy's family gathers for a small meeting. I join them, but no one talks to me. They speak around me, not to me. One uncle says, I do not understand their business world. Another says, I do not have the right background. They speak quietly, but I hear all of it. Before I can leave, Roy enters the room. He listens for only a moment. Then, he tells them to stop. He says, I am his wife. He says, they will treat me with basic respect. His voice does not rise, but everyone becomes silent. I look down, unsure what to think. His reaction is strong. Stronger than I expected. That night, I cannot sleep. The questions inside me get bigger. Why does he protect me like this? Why did he choose me at all? The next evening, we finally have time alone. We sit in the small sitting room, near the garden. The house is quiet. I look at him, and decide to ask. My voice comes out soft, but clear. I ask why he chose me for this marriage. He looks at me for a long moment, before he speaks. He keeps his words simple, but the meaning feels heavy. He says, he remembered me from years ago, at a meeting between our families. He says, I was calm and steady, even when the room was loud. He says, he liked the way I held myself. He says, that feeling stayed in his mind. Then, he talks about my parents. He says, his own parents made business choices that later hurt my family. He says, he felt responsible. He says, he paid attention when my family became unstable. He wanted to help. He also says, he needed to marry for business reasons. He did not have much time to find someone. I needed someone to clear my family's debt. He needed a partner for his company's future. He says, he thought we could help each other. I listen to all of it. I sit very still. Then, I ask him something that has been in my mind since the wedding. I tell him, many women would have wanted to marry him. I tell him, he did not have to choose me, or pay my family's debt. I ask him, why he did not pick an easier option. He answers without hesitating. He says, it was because of responsibility. He says, his parents' decisions hurt my family, so he felt he should step forward. He also says, he trusted the image he had of me. He believed I would handle this life with calm, even if it was difficult. I sit back and breathe slowly. His answer is not romantic, but it is honest. And it surprises me. I tell him, he seems more generous than I thought. He does not respond, but he looks at me for a long moment. The silence feels warm, not awkward. After that night, something changes between us. He does not speak more than before, but he pays attention. He checks if I am left alone during events. He stands a little closer when there are cameras. He walks with me instead of sending me ahead. At home, the staff stop ignoring me. Roy speaks to them, and they listen. They ask for my opinion about meals and decorations. They use my name with more respect. Even Roy's family change a little. They greet me first. They ask simple questions. No one uses the word unfit again. Roy and I keep acting like a close couple in public, just like the contract says. But the act becomes easier. His hand on my back feels natural. Standing beside him feels normal. We sit closer, without noticing. We are still a contract couple. But little by little, we start to look like something more. At least to me. I walk to the market one afternoon. The street is busy. I want some time outside the house. I need a quiet moment. I see one of Roy's relatives near a small cafe. She has always been warm to me. She smiles when she sees me. She asks how Roy is doing. She asks if we are getting along well. I tell her we are fine. It is simple, but it is true. She nods and says, Roy asked her to look out for me. She tells me, Roy is not a man who trusts people easily. She says, he does not get close to people. She says, he rarely shows his feelings. She says, he pushed for this marriage because he cares. She tells me, he wanted me to be safe. She says, he told her. Please, take care of her. I do not know what to say. I tell her, Roy only wanted to help my family. I say, it was because of our parents' old friendship. She shakes her head. She says, Roy is not so generous with strangers. She says, he would not do this for just anyone. She says, he chose me for a reason. She says, I should think about that. When I walk back home, her words stay with me. I start to see things differently. Roy protected me many times. He corrected his family when they spoke badly about me. He warned the staff when they ignored me. He stood next to me in public without hesitation. I thought it was duty. I thought it was a contract. But maybe it was not only that. I stand in front of the house for a moment. I take a slow breath. For the first time, I ask myself, if I want this marriage to be real. The answer comes fast. I do. That evening, I bring tea to Roy's study. The door is open. He is looking over some papers. The desk is full of designs and maps. I set the tea down and look at one of the drawings. I ask what it is. He says, it is a plan for a new resort. He says, it will open in 2 years. He sounds tired but proud. I tell him, it looks beautiful. The place is wide and open. The sea is close. The rooms face the sunset. He looks at the paper for a long moment. Then, he says, we should visit it when it is finished. I stop breathing for a second. 2 years. That is the end of our contract. But in his voice, it does not sound like an ending. It sounds like a beginning. I ask, both of us? He nods once. His face is calm, but his eyes are not. I feel something warm in my chest. It grows fast and strong. I smile. It feels real. It feels sure. I say, yes. Let's go together. He nods again. He does not smile, but he looks at me for a long time. It feels like a quiet promise. For the first time, I feel we are not acting. We are not pretending to be a good couple. We are becoming one. Not by contract. Not by duty. But by choice. And this time, I choose him too.